I think in a funny way, I didn't find the film. I think the film found me. I made a lot of short films. I started making films at a very young age. I made my first short at 19, and after making a lot of shorts, I went to film school twice. In 2010, I knew I've made a lot of shorts. It's time to make my first feature film.
Hmm.
I'm not like some directors that they've got lots of ideas in their head and they would just pitch like 10 ideas and producers would go like, yeah, let's do that. For me, I need to be obsessed by something.
Well, how did
Um,
the obsession begin with
that
this
that was there
subject?
was there was a period of time when a lot of childhood memories just came flooding back into my head. I think in Singapore you spend most of your time sort of like growing up, chasing grades, becoming an adult, starting a career. That your childhood sort of gets swept underneath the carpet. I think it's been repressed for so long.
Hmm.
And all these memories just came back and I remember, that we had this Filipino woman, who worked with us for 8 years. She came when I was 4. She left when I was 12. Her
And I
name
believe her name
is
was Auntie Terry as
her name
well.
is Teresa and we call her Auntie Terry. So it really started from there. I think that one it really started from one emotion when I was 12 and we were sending her off at the airport, and I remember I was just crying and crying and crying, and it was so painful. And it was that recollection that really um, made me ask a lot of questions, like how is it that a child can be so attached to someone, who's not part of who you are. She's not family, she's a stranger, she's a servant. Um, you know, yeah, you're not connected by blood. So it really started from there.
Is it common for Filipino nannies to raise children in middle to lower middle class families?
I think in countries like Singapore or even like in Hong Kong and very developed Asian economies, it's a very pragmatic sort of thing to have to employ a maid from the Philippines or from Indonesia. I wouldn't say, like in the West, having a maid is a very bourgeois idea. Usually it's a very middle class, upper class thing. But in Singapore, it's very much because of economic reasons, because of very pragmatic reasons. You have got a very huge middle class. We have got a lot of dual income families, white collar working parents, and for them to bring the bread and butter, someone has to look after the kids. So it's a very practical decision to employ me. It's not because the family is ridiculously rich. It's
Hmm.
just because you just need to have someone. The film itself, the script itself, took 2 years. I don't actually find structure. I don't actually find um, setups and payoffs, so easily. For me, I have to go on a journey with the characters.
Hmm.
I slowly discover what I'm trying to say, you know, um, what is it that I want to express in this film.
Can you tell us about the challenges you faced in casting Jali? I mean, the heart of this film is this young boy. Had he acted before? How did you find him?
No, he's a complete fresh face. Hasn't been in theater, hasn't been on film, hasn't been on TV, hasn't even been in a school play. I knew I wanted because I'm very very wary of actors that child actors that have gone through a lot of training,
Hmm.
because I wanted something very honest. I wanted something very organic. I wanted something very natural. So we started a very long casting process. It was a very rigorous process. We took about 10 months. In those 10 months, we went to about 20 schools in Singapore. We saw about 8,000 children. Out of the
Wow.
8,000 children we saw, we formally auditioned about 2,000 of them. And then we shortlisted 150. And I spent about 6 months every Saturday and Sunday doing workshops with these kids.
Can
So
you
it
talk?
was it
What was the
was like a
workshop?
reality show where where we were eliminating like 150 down to 6 months later we have like the top 10.
What scene did they
It wasn't about
utilize?
scenes. For me, it's about finding out who these people really are. And I think a lot of times there might be kids that sparkle on a day, but if you're gonna be holding a film, if you're gonna be filming for like 25, 30 days, you need someone who's consistent, someone who has real presence. And I wanted to see if the kids could deliver that. This boy, and his real name is Jala. I actually renamed the character of the boy after I found him because 家乐 in Chinese, 家 means family, and 乐 means happiness. And when I casted him, I was thinking, wow, that's great irony for this film because it's really about a family that's not very happy,
Yes.
and the boy's name is like Happy Family. I think most filmmakers like to go for the cutest kid, the one with the smiley face, the one that that you want to hug and kiss and all that. But he's not the prettiest of kids. But there's something about his face. There's a fragility,
Yes.
and there's a fracture there, and it's something you can't quite describe. You just know something is not quite right with this kid, but you can't say what. My philosophy is that we're all trying, as people, as humans, we are all trying to be the best of what we can. We all want to be good workers, good parents, good fathers, good mothers. We all try to be the best, but we can't because we're imperfect and our flaws are in the way. Because there's gluttony and there's greed and there's lust and all of that. So if you look at my characters, they're always trying. They're always trying, but they'll never get there. And it's not really their fault, because that's what we are. I think that's when you have drama. That's when you have cinema. It's because of our imperfections.